Upon opening the door from one of the log hallways, Team Wisp discovered a mystical orb with runes on it. "Whoa!" Tangle exclaimed. She was certainly surprised that she and her friends were seeing something that they had never seen before. "What's that?" Jewel asked. "I don't know," Tangle replied, "but it looks good and cool." The lemur was about to touch the orb until Whisper stopped her by grasping her hand. "Wait," she said. "We don't know what this is or what it is capable of." Jewel examined it for further a little while before saying, "It looks pretty active. But what is it?" Tangle asked. "And what is it used for?" "Excuse me," an unknown voice said. It was somewhat high-pitched to be and a bit quiet. This caught Team Wisp's attention, because when they turned their heads to see, an orange robot was standing right behind them. She was wearing the following clothing: a green cap, green hair ties, a pink shirt with a white collar, green overalls, and white socks with frills, and pink Mary Jane shoes. "A robot," Whisper said. Immediately after, she held her valuable Wespion at the orange robot, who began to shiver and shake. "Do you or do you not associate yourself with anyone who goes by the name Dr. Eggman?" she asked coldly. No, the robot answered. "I'm not one of Eggman's loyal robots. I'm only here to help. Please don't hurt me." Hey, Tangle said, calming the wolf down. "Whisper, she's harmless. This isn't an ambush." "Please, Whisper," Jules joined in. "Lower your Wespion." Whisper stayed silent for a minute or two, until the wisps have convinced her that she was the orange robot and was not dangerous. She sighed before saying, "Very well. While lowering the variable Wespion, I see it that you're not associated with Eggman." "Now then," Tangle said, "we must have gone on the wrong foot here, so let's throw it over and try again." She then cleared her throat properly, before introducing herself to the orange robot. "Hi, I'm Tangle the lemur," she said in a friendly demeanor. "And I am Jewel the beetle," Jules said, giving out a curtsy. "My name is Whisper." "Whisper the wolf," Whisper said. "I do apologize for coming short on you." "It's all right, Whisper," the orange robot said. "It's so nice to meet you. My name is Belle the Tinker." "I suppose you were the ones who have been sending us notes during the quest," Jules said. "That is correct," Belle explained. "I wrote these notes to you, your friends and your allies, in means to stop Dr. Starline from gaining access to the Eggnet and taking over the world." "Apparently," Whisper said after giving much thought, "you intended to prevent this platypus from taking over the world upon gaining access to the Eggman Empire." "Yes," Belle answered. The flashback began with Dr. Starline fomenting a plan to conquer the egg base Sigma. Belle was outside of the respiratory when she had heard his motivation on escaping the premises before she was noticed. Dr. Starling was plotting to rally a crew against breaking the Eggnet hub to gain access to the egg base Sigma. Apparently, he's no longer associated with himself with Dr. Eggman. However, he intended to gain control of the egg base Sigma to have the place be under his control. Belle took out the notepad from one of her pockets and began to write down messages with a pen that was inserted into one of the fingers from the left hand. "I wrote a message in each and every one of you to call to prevent Dr. Starline from accomplishing his goals." Later, Belle posted her messages on various places, depending on which one of the Sonic Hero teams she was sending them to, such as the doors from Tails' workshop, before knocking on it and leaving it immediately. Under the fridge of the Babylon Rouges, a blimp before making her exit. "I have experience with the power cords and the advantages that could be utilized," she continued. "So upon watching you take down Eggman's robots one by one, I could send you more notes to provide hints. Those include the power cores to which you make you run faster, fly longer, punch harder, and make your magic stronger." One of the flashbacks ended. Team Wisp understood the role Belle was playing during the quest. "That was really cool being able to help and all," Tangle said. "You think you could give us a hand with this whatchamacallit can do?" "That's one of the orb switches," Belle said, walking up to the group. "One of them?" Whisper asked. "You mean there's more?" "Of course," Belle answered. "In fact, this orb can switch to either flip the castle upside down or transport you to another part of the mansion." "What could this one do?" Tangle asked. "Let's give it a test," Belle suggested. As soon as she placed her hand on the orb switch, the room began to shine bright. Meanwhile, the Chaotrix were standing at the edge of the bottomless pit, staring down at the door from the other side of the hallway. "Well, that's just great," Katarina said, crossing her arms in annoyance. I guess there's no way to get over there. Come on, Katerina, Vector said. We can't give up yet. A good detective never gives up on a mission. SBO was crouching down to the floor while coming up with an idea of how to get to the other side of the pit. Maybe I could triangle jump some walls, he said. Or maybe we could fly our way to the door, Boken suggested. I have a better idea, Katerina said, her eyes lighting up. I think you guys could walk on my hair like a tightrope, and then you guys can grab a hold of my hair so I can meet you on the other side. During this time, her hair began to straighten up into the air. It wasn't long until the bee took notice of it. Hey, Katerina, he said. Why is your hair standing up? What do you mean? Katerina asked, reaching out for her hair. Why does the floor feel like the ceiling? Lane. Vector added. The chameleon felt a strange feeling about the phenomenon that was occurring and said, Guys, I think this castle's flipped us upside down. What? The rest of the detectives asked, raising their voice. In the commotion, they immediately fell from the floor and landed on the ceiling. Ow! Boken exclaimed. I think I hit my head. Vector got up from the floor and shook his head, and then he looked at the hallway to which it was the point upside down. Hey, look, Vector said, pointing towards the door. Looks like we can make it to the other side. Let's go. He ran across the ceiling while the rest of his friends followed him, thus reaching the door. This is almost like a fun house, Charmy said. Only it's a little spookier than fun, Boken said. As soon as they made their way to the other side of the bottomless pit, Team Chaotrix finally made their way to the other room. At one of the castle towers, Team Dimension was cautiously walking on the walking board that was attached to the ceiling, which was utilized to the floor. Careful not to fall, you guys, Silver reminded his friends. You know this isn't so bad, Styx said. I'm not even scared of the ghosts. Just then a pumpkin ghost appeared from behind her, cackled in a soft voice. Shaking the fright, the badger turned her head and saw the ghost. She screamed and began to move frantically, resulting in her falling off the board. Styx! Marine yelled. She grabbed onto Styx's hand, stopping the badger from falling in the sky. Jasmine turned around and saw the ghost that spooked Styx before freezing into ice crystals. Immediately after that, she grasped onto one of Marine's ankles, and she saw her slipping that was an attempt to help Styx from falling. Jasmine was beginning to slip as well. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to use her hands to communicate because she had her hands gripped tightly on the raccoon's ankle. She couldn't speak either, so she had no way of letting either Silver or Blaze know that they were in danger. Fortunately, Marine and Styx's screams and calls for help were enough to capture the attention of both Silver and Blaze. Silver! Blaze called. They're in trouble! We gotta help them, Silver said. They ran towards them and attempted to help them back up the ceiling. Help! Styx called. Help us! Hang on, Silver said, struggling to help Blaze as they pulled them to safety. Little did anyone knew they were walking down the board was about to take a break, nearly sealing their fate. Meanwhile, Team Rose entered the room that contained a skeletal statue holding onto two platforms that looked nearly equivalent to dinner plates. I think we're lost, Big said. This place is creepy, Cream shuddered. No worries, guys, Amy said. We'll find Sonic and the others. We just gotta be strong and brave, right, Cosmo? The Seed Wren's attention was focused on the orb switches. What in the world are these? She asked. I don't know, Amy replied. Maybe they could be beneficial in helping us get out of this room. We don't know what this switch could trigger, though, Big said. Please be careful, Amy, Cream said. No worries, Cream, Amy replied, reassuring her friend. We'll be okay. The pink hedgehog reached for one of the orb switches, and then the room began to glow brighter and brighter within a few seconds. As the room dimmed, the platform was moved in front of them, thus allowing them to jump into their way from the plover platform. Afterwards, they were able to make it to the door that was located on top of the skeleton's head. That was pretty easy, Big said. Let's get moving, Amy replied. Back at the castle tops, Team Dimension was struggling to get safety. I can't hold on much longer, mate, Marine shouted. We're going to make it, Blaze said. Just when Jasmine's grip was about to loosen, everyone fell from the ceiling and onto the floor. Luckily, no one was hurt. Thanks, guys, Styx said. Talk about close call. Jasmine's eyes began to widen as she saw the miracle of some sort. Hence, she touched Silver on the shoulder and sighed that she saw a door that led them to the exit. Great eyes, guys, Jasmine, Silver said. Let's make a drum beat for it. Of course, Team Sonic was walking down the hallway and humming to the song named Bravery. This assisted them into moving forward despite several ghosts appearing right in front of them to spook them. Just then, Lavinia became spooked by the sound of the thud. Guys, what was that? She asked. I have no idea, Tails answered. Could there be someone else in the castle? Knuckles and Sonic began to hum slowly and softly, indicating that they were starting to feel uneasy. What's your take, Sonic? Tails asked. You may be right, Tails, Sonic answered. I think we better watch our backs in case someone's trying to get us from the back. Right, Knuckles said. You're not scared, are you, Knuckles? Lavinia asked. Knuckles tried to brush it off by saying, Heck no, I'm not scared. The sounds of robotic steps began to startle the Echna to the point where he began to sweat. No, not even the slightest, he said. They slowly turned around to ensure that neither robot nor ghost was following them. They kept walking backwards towards a huge room that had one staircase. Team Dark was walking backwards, well due to seeing a ghost behind them that was trying to kidnap them. That was a close call, Rouge said. That was too close, Maria responded. I can't stand to look behind me. She covered her eyes in fear of being scared by either a ghost or a robot, and the rest of the heroes were walking backwards out of fear of an ambush. I can't look, Amy, Cream said, quivering. It's okay, Cream. You don't have to look, Amy said, trying to stay calm as possible. Just stay close to us, okay? Fearing what could happen next, no one dared to turn around until their backs touched each other. Shocking everyone at the same time, they turned around and screamed, Ah! But then, Amy ran towards Sonic and gave him a hug. Sonic! She cried. Amy! Sonic said. Are you okay? Everyone else began to hug each other and their other friends, such as Lavinia hugging Katarina, or converse with the others. The blue hedgehog turned his attention to Belle. His eyes were locked in on Zone when they walked to each other for a closer look. Belle? Sonic asked. Sonic? Belle asked. Is that you? It is, Sonic answered. Long time no see. The orange robot began to smile and said, It's been so long. They shared a long-awaited hug. Their reunion was short-lived, however, because robotic footsteps were heard from the other side of the giant door. They started off low, but as soon as they got louder and louder and closer, the sound got. What is it this time? Marine asked. I don't know, SBO answered, but we gotta be ready for anything. Everyone got into position as they prepared themselves for what could be entering the giant room. Will they be brave enough to fight off the mysterious being that awaits for them? How will Dr. Eggman get to the bottom of the Power Core factory break-in? But most importantly, can Eggman Eggman find her way to protect Dr. Starling from Mimic's motive without shapeshifting octopus getting in the way? Well, we'll have to find out.